Okay, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to take a Microsoft Word document that I created on Blackboard, and we're going to insert your image, possibly do some last minute changes, resizing, possibly adding text, maybe duplicating, who knows, but at the end of the day, preparing your image so that it can be saved and then saved as an Adobe Pdf file and then copied to student public server. So here we go. Once again, let's go to project design briefs, LED light stand. If you look at these instructions, we're actually now past this portion and we're going to be doing these last set of steps. So as you can see here, we're going to right click on the file above called last name, period number, LED light stand. It's right up here. And we're going to select either save link as or save target as. I'm using Chrome, so when I right click on this in a Chrome environment, I see save link as. If you're using Internet Explorer, it's going to say save target as. So we're going to click on that. Once again, I right clicked, I did not left click. As always, we go back to our LED light stand folder. And the only thing you're going to change here is this first part. We're going to change it to last name. In this case, I'll be putting in a period number. I'll go ahead and put in period number 2. I'm going to hit save. Now, in Chrome, it downloads here. In Internet Explorer, you'll see the option to open. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. Now, as the instructions read, we're going to be using the Insert Pictures feature. Once again, if you're thinking about adding text or any other shapes, you can also do that at this point. Now, you'll also notice we already have a file that's been saved, okay, with the correct file name. So I'm going to go to Insert Pictures, and we're going to go back to our H drive. So once again, I'm going to go to my H drive, Engineering 8, LED light stand. And for this example here, I have quite a few pictures to choose from, but let me take one of the last sets of pictures that I have actually worked on with this video. One of them was the soccer ball here, and that was probably the one that I'm going to go ahead and use for this example. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the soccer ball. I'm going to hit insert. Now, a lot of times kids do want to move things around, resize things, but you'll find it's almost like it's locked. Every time I click and drag, nothing happens. So there's something here. I know a student called this the little rainbow. This is the layout options feature. You want to click here, and you either want to select either behind text or in front. Either one. Okay, either one. I'll go ahead and select in front of text. Why not? Now with this, I get a few extra functions. I can obviously click and drag and now move this. Obviously, I don't want it going off the workspace here. But maybe I want to make it smaller because I'm going to add some text underneath. So I am going to grab a corner. I repeat, grab a corner to keep the object proportional. If you are not to grab a corner, grab an edge. You're going to make it larger, but it's going to be very much unproportional. Once again, most kids want to keep it proportional. I'm going to hit Control Z, but we're going to move on. You decide how that needs to be resized. I'm going to move this up here. Maybe make that a little bit larger, not too large because I'm going to leave some space for text. The question I get a lot is, can this touch the edge? The answer is yes. You can actually have your image touch the edge. Obviously, do not go beyond the edge. But yes, it can touch the edge. You may do that. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and kind of eyeball this, get it fairly centered. You can see Word is very good at doing that. And I could call it over, or if I want to add some text, we'll go ahead and add that. Let's go ahead and select Insert, Text Box, and I'm going to select what's called Simple Text Box. Okay? I'm just going to start typing. So maybe I'm going to type in USA #1. Probably not, but anyway, let's move on here. So let's go ahead. USA still has a lot of work to do with their men's team, but that's another story. So we're going to go ahead and do a few changes here. I'm not going to worry about font size or type yet. I'm going to get rid of this black box. So with my text box selected, obviously if it's not selected, select it. And you'll notice up here you have shape fill and shape outline, but then you'll also notice if I double click on it, that I can go ahead and click here and change the fill, which is already white, to no fill. Now let me explain what happens with fill, set to white, and no fill. If this for any reason was just barely overlapping part of your image, you can clearly see that it's blocking the soccer ball. But if I change the fill to no fill, you can see that the soccer ball comes through. If I want to get rid of the black outline, I go to Shape Outline, and once again I say No Outline. So you can see it's much cleaner. I could actually have text get fairly close to an image and not worry about part of the image getting clipped off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move this back down here, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight it, go back to Home, increase the font size as big as I can so that still stays on the screen. Obviously I can resize my text box, make it a little bit larger. I can bring this down. I can obviously make my text centered. There's a lot of different things we can do here, folks, which I'm sure you are very familiar with. And I'm going to stop right about here. That's good enough. Okay. Now, if I do want to rotate, soccer ball is not a great example, but you can obviously take an image. It's kind of hard to see the rotate, so I'll move this down, but this is your rotate feature. Okay, if you ever want to rotate an image. Okay, just to make sure that you understand you can do that if you want to. So now I'm in the final stages here. Everything looks great. I like what I see. Now if you want to insert another image, obviously I'm very tight with space, may not work unless I make the soccer ball smaller, maybe get rid of the text, but you can incorporate other images if you want. Some students may even insert other shapes. Once again, keep everything black and white. Okay, so I'm done. So I'm going to hit Control S or File Save just to save what I've done, but now comes the final and most important part. You need to go to File, Save as Adobe Pdf. There are a few computers that do not show this feature, so I'm going to show you what you will do instead. Let's take what the majority of you will see. We're going to click on Save as Adobe Pdf. You will find in my Blackboard instructions, don't change the folder location, don't change the file name. It's now going to convert to a PDF. You simply hit Save. That is it. Give it a moment. Now, a nice thing that I like about this is that it's going to open up your file in Adobe, and the first thing most kids say is, oh my gosh, the quality looks terrible. Of course, 362%. Let's look at it at 100%. Okay, this is what you're going to get when you laser cut and engrave it. Okay, this is what the image quality is going to look like. I'm very happy with that. Done. Okay, now once again, let me show those of you that do not see the file Save as Adobe PDF. Instead, go to File, Save As, and you could do this really either way. For you folks that don't see this button here, change Word to PDF. Once again, don't change the location, don't change the file name, just hit Save. Okay, since I've already saved it, I'm not going to hit that button. I'm going to go back, and I'm now going to move on to the last and final step. Keep in mind that you do have a Word document, but you also have a PDF file. That's what I want on the server. I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to minimize this. Here's your last and final step. There's Student Public. I placed it here just for convenience. There's my H drive. We're going to double click here. We're going to go to once again, our class folder, or our personal folder that we have for this class. I have lots of PDFs, but let me just take the last one that I did. I'm going to right click and select copy. Keep in mind, it's the PDF file. You may or may not see this icon, but do make sure it's the .pdf file. Right click, copy. Now I could obviously hit Student Public here, or you could obviously double click on your desktop. Either one is fine. Takes you to the same place. We go to Curriculum. We're going to go to Bolt, and we're going to go to Second Period. I'm going to tell you right now, this folder is going to look very different when you access it. I will have taken all of your rapid prototyping files and placed them in a separate folder. And for now, you don't see that, but you will. Here's what you just need to remember. No matter what, you need to right-click in a area that is white. Do not right-click on an existing file, please. Just find any white space here, 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 or here, and hit Paste. Okay, you'll now see your file copied, and you should see it here. You'll obviously see it's got some size to it. If it says 0 kilobytes, you may have done something incorrect. You can't delete it. I will, but try the process again and make sure we have a file that has some size to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. This is the final step. So you may now close, log out of Blackboard, sign out of your computer if you like, and you can now move on. Great job.